Hi, welcome. So we're going to do a restorative practice today. This is one of my favorite things to do. It's for those times when you need some unwinding, some undoing, and it's just a wonderful thing to do for your body, for your mind, for your spirit. And the best part is you really don't have to do anything. The hardest part is at the beginning. I'm going to ask you to gather some props. So I have several blankets here, and if you can go and look for some blankets. So I have, and I'll show you how to fold the blanket. So here I have a pretty big blanket, and you're going to need two of them. And so I'm going to fold it in half, and then fold it in half again. And just make sure you get it all nice and neat so that there's no bunching under your blanket, and then fold it in half again. So I have this long rectangle, you can see, and I already have one of these blankets lying down here on my mat. And I'm going to put this second one folded the same way, just on top of it, and just kind of line them up. This is going to be my little bed where I'm going to rest. So you might pause this and go look for, so the two blankets, maybe actually 3 blankets if you have them, or even more. If you have a little pillow that's a little pliable, so you can like double it up under your neck, that would be great to have on hand. And either an eye pillow or just some covering for your that you can put over your eyes. And so a scarf does really well for that. So once you've gathered those, then rejoin us. Oh, one more thing I forgot. We're going to finish with legs up the chair. And so if you like, you can set up next to a couch, so you can put your legs up the couch. Or you can see here, I have this folding chair. And I also put a blanket over the folding chair, so there's another blanket. So if you have lots of blankets, go and get them. You don't need to have a blanket over your chair, it's just nice to have. So I'm gonna slide the chair back out of the way. And then, so you have these 2 stacked blankets. And then I'm going to fold down the top of the top blanket. And so this is to raise my chest up a little bit. And then let me show you what we're going to do. So I'm going to sit. Let me start by taking this off just so you can see me. And I'll put it back on because I'll get cold. So I'm going to sit on my blanket stack. And then I'm going to lie down, and I want to line up the tops of my shoulders with this upper blanket. So I need to scooch down a little bit more. So the tops of my shoulders are lined up with this folded blanket, and my head is down on the other blanket, so there's a soft surface for my head. So just take a moment and get yourself into this shape. You can, I'm just kind of pulling my neck out of the way. And we're going to start with constructive rest pose. You can bring the knees to rest against each other, letting the hands rest on the belly. And just take a moment to make yourself comfortable. So if you can't find these blankets, maybe just some pillows, like bed pillows, might work. So just explore what feels good to get yourself into this shape. The idea is to have your chest a little bit higher than your head and also your hips. If your head is uncomfortable, just kind of coming down, it actually feels kind of good for me. But whatever works best for your neck, if you like, take that kind of pliable pillow and maybe bunch it up a little bit under your neck. Oh, that feels good too. Your hands can rest out to the sides, or your hands can rest on your belly. And you can start with the in constructive rest pose, knees bent and supporting each other. Or if you want a little more stretch in the lower body, then bring the knees wide, bring the soles of the feet toward each other. You can even, if you have some more pillows, you can support your legs underneath. You can take lying goddess pose, bringing even pitchforking the arms if you want a whole lot of heart opener, or bring the arms down to the side. So just find where you're comfortable. So take a few moments and find where your body is comfortable. I'm going to begin in constructive rest pose with my knees resting against each other. And I'm going to begin with, I'm going to keep the hands out to the sides. If you like, take several letting go breaths, taking in a deeper inhale and let the exhale kind of fall away. I'm going to already layer up, putting my sweater back on. If you have a blanket nearby or you're getting chilly, you can also put on a sweatshirt or something yourself. So just get yourself very comfortable. You can pause this and come back when you're ready. The object is to be as comfortable as you can be. Remembering that everybody's body is different. So what feels really good for my body might not feel so good for your body. The idea of starting lying in constructive rest pose with maybe the head a little bit lower, or putting that pillow under my neck. Again, you might find some pillows, or one bigger blanket like a quilt might do, folded in the same way. So just find what works for you. And that's the hardest part of this practice. Once you're comfortable and in the shape you want to be in, we're going to stay here for probably at least 10 minutes. So get yourself comfortable and join me when you're ready. I'm going to close my eyes, turn my awareness inward, allow your body to arrive wherever it is. If you're still making adjustments, just continue making adjustments to find what works best for your body. What feels like it's really a yummy position to be in for a few minutes of opening the heart, of allowing your body to arrive on the ground. If you'd like, take several deeper breaths, deeper inhales inside and away. And begin to just notice your breath. You're not needing to control the breath, just notice your breath. Allowing your body to rest on the earth. So in restorative yoga, it looks like you're not doing anything. It looks like you're just being lazy and lying around. And the truth is, restorative yoga is a very deep practice. It's a deep practice of finding relaxation in your body. It's a deep practice of releasing all that tension we're walking around with. And it may feel a little intimidating to you right now to lie with your heart exposed, open, kind of raised a little bit. We're so used to hunching forward and protecting the heart and guarding the heart. This is a practice of undoing all that guarding, all that holding, letting your body arrive on your mat. As you continue to just notice your breath, imagine your mind resting on the breath, like the breath is a soft pillow for the mind to rest on. And so your mind is resting on the waves of the breath, floating on the waves of the breath. Each exhale, you're releasing into the ground a little more. Each exhale, you're trusting that you're supported, that you're held. You're allowing the earth to carry the weight of all of you. As you continue to just notice your breath, imagine the front of your brain resting on a shelf formed by the back of the brain. And the back of the brain is resting on the earth. Soften your thighs. Imagine your thighs melting down into the hips and the buttocks. The buttocks resting on the earth. Imagine your entire spine, the lower back, the middle of the back, the upper back, and the shoulders resting on the ground, allowing the earth to support you, to hold you completely. Perhaps noticing your belly moving gently on the waves of the breath. If your hands are resting on your belly, imagine your hands are urging the belly to soften even more. Your hands are telling your belly it's okay to let go. It's okay to release. You don't have to guard against anything. You're safe. You are protected. You are held by the earth. You're supported by your breath. For this next period of time, you don't have to do anything. Just relax. You might re-soften the thighs, the buttocks, the belly. You may feel some sensation in the front of the chest as you're kind of stretching the chest, opening the heart. You may feel some sensation in the shoulders. Stay with the breath. Continue soothing your mind that you're in a safe place. Imagine releasing the shoulders totally to rest on the earth, on the ground. Your arms, hands, fingers resting. Let all doing melt from your hands and fingers. Allow your blanket bed to support you completely. Imagine your whole body releasing a little more. Maybe letting the chin drop towards the chest just a tiny bit. The upper palate, the roof of the mouth, sliding away from the tongue. Notice how that softens and unhinges the jaw a little bit. Imagine your jaw melting towards the ears. Softening the space between the ears. Widening the space between the ears. Imagine even the cheekbones are melting towards the ears. Eyelids draping over the eyes. Bridge of the nose dropping towards the back of the head. The whole head releasing onto the blanket or the pillow. Space between the eyes widening. Forehead unfurling. Brain melting resting on the earth. Space between the temples widening. Continue releasing the weight of all of you onto the ground. You might notice some sensations in the belly or in the upper abdomen as you're opening that area and softening in that area. There might be a sensation of a gentle tugging or stretching. And that's your organs and the skin on your belly releasing. Your whole body is getting the message. I can let go now. I don't have to hold. I don't have to protect. I can rest now. Allow yourself to rest. If you feel the urge to shift your shape a little bit, for instance, if your knees are wide and the soles of the feet are toward each other in lying goddess pose, then you can bring the knees up, bring the feet to the mat, inch the feet a little wider apart and let the knees rest against each other in constructive rest pose to stretch the inside or release the insides of the thighs that you've been tugging on in your lying goddess pose. And if you've been in constructive rest pose and you want to try the lying goddess pose, then gently inch your feet toward each other and then let the knees drift out to the sides. You can come back and forth between those two extremes a couple of times to see which your body likes better for right now. But if you're adjusting, make your movements slow and deliberate. For me, I'm coming back to constructive rest pose, because that's a deep release of the psoas muscle. And the psoas muscle is the first muscle that gets activated when you're under stress. So especially these days, coming into constructive rest pose, letting knees rest against each other to release the psoas muscle can be very powerful in feeling safer, more grounded, more protected. Can you soften the belly once again? Sometimes it's nice to visualize a liquid orange ocean in your belly. A liquid orange ocean. Like the ocean when the rising sun is illuminating it every morning. Liquid orange ocean belly. And since you're also opening your heart in this pose, you might imagine a radiant yellow sun just below the heart, around the solar plexus area, just below the rib cage. Radiant, golden yellow sun. It might be helpful to imagine a blooming green spring color around the heart. Like spring is blooming out of your heart as you're lying here. Continuing with the chakra visualization. Chakras are energy centers in your body. You might imagine a clear blue sky at your throat, not a cloud in the sky. Clear, unfettered blue as far as the eye can see. You might imagine a midnight blue sky, a deep indigo blue between your eyebrows, that eyebrow center, the third eye center. And at the top of the head, either a brilliant white light or the lightest, softest violet light you can imagine. At your root, at your tailbone, imagine red earth. You might imagine growing roots down into the earth through your tailbone at the bottom of the spine. Stay with your breath. I'm going to guide you up the spine again in that chakra, that energy center visualization. Beginning with the tailbone, red earth, roots growing down into the earth, feeling supported, feeling connected to the earth. liquid orange ocean belly, liquid orange ocean belly. The ocean at sunrise. Just below the rib cage at solar plexus, that radiant golden yellow sun. Your blooming green spring heart. Heart blooming wide open. Clear blue sky at your throat. Cerulean midnight blue between the eyebrows. Brilliant white light or soft violet light at the top of the head. We're going to slowly transition from this pose. We will come back to it at the end of the practice. So no worries, if you're really enjoying this, we'll return here. So begin to deepen your breath. Begin to allow gentle movements, stretches. Maybe just rock your pelvis forward and back a little bit. You're massaging your spine. You might bring the knees into the chest. You can even curl up into a little ball, maybe even lift your head. And then maybe gently roll off your blankets to one side to pause in fetal position on your side. Whenever you're ready, take your time. Press into one hand and make your way up to off the ground. And then make your way back to, so you might come into table position. Just keep your blankets where they are and just bring your hands to the sides of the blankets and maybe do a few cat and dog tilts if you like. Or just wag your hips side to side. Whatever feels good for you. And maybe rest in child's pose for just a moment. Draw the hips back towards the heels. Make a pillow with the hands for the head and just let your head rest on your hands. When you're ready to come back up, we're just gonna keep everything the way it is. I'm just gonna move this head pillow out of the way a little bit. Keep everything where it is and come into surfboard pose. So we're just gonna come onto the belly now instead of on the back. So imagine that your blanket stack is a surfboard and now the tops of your shoulders are still gonna come to that folded blanket, or maybe just actually the front of the chest comes to the folded blanket. Maybe the shoulders come a little bit forward of the folded blanket, and you can just let your head rest on the bottom blanket. Just scooch around until you find a place where you're most comfortable and you can still breathe. I'm just moving up and down a little bit. I'll move my arms out of the way, but keep your arms bent so that you're kind of supporting yourself with your arms. Your chin can be, I'm just going to move my arms to the sides just so you can see. So my shoulders are, the sides of my shoulders, the fronts of my shoulders are coming off the blankets and onto the ground. So I'm kind of rounding my shoulders now. Make sure your head is in a position where it's easy to breathe. You can, again, use that flexible pillow under your forehead. You can double it up again a little bit. So maybe that feels better for you. I'm just bringing the arms to the side so you can see what my shape is. When you're ready, bring your arms in any position that's comfortable. So find where your head is comfortable, find where your arms are comfortable. I'm still adjusting a little bit. Just take your time and wiggle and get as comfortable as you can. Now imagine you're on a surfboard on the ocean. And if you don't like the ocean, and you'd rather be in a swimming pool, let yourself be in a swimming pool, or a clear blue pond. And if you don't like any of those visuals, imagine you're lying on your belly on the grass maybe. So just as the previous pose was an opening of the front body, this is an opening of the back body. It can also feel really, really soothing to lie on your belly. You might really love to stay here. If you're still exploring with your head, you can also turn the head to one side, maybe using that pillow. And you can stay here. I love surfboard pose. And I think I will just stay here. If you want to do a little more, just like I gave you an option in the previous pose, bend one knee and bring the thigh out to the side, making a perpendicular between the thigh and the shin. So this is half frog. This is a hip opener. Find where your arms are comfortable. If one of your shoulders is not comfortable, it's often really nice to bring it down to release that shoulder. Just find where your arm is comfortable, or you can bring the elbow in closer to the chest. If you're turning your head, make sure you're turning it towards the bent knee, not to the other side. Let yourself arrive in your surfboard shape. Imagine now the belly feeling protected and melting deeper into the earth. The heart, the chest feeling protected and melting deeper into the earth. The upper back melting into the chest, melting into the earth. Stay with your breath. Imagine the skin on your back floating on the waves of the breath. The skin on your back is like a raft floating on the waves of the breath. Like a raft in the ocean. You might imagine yourself in the Caribbean Ocean, where there's no waves, and the water is a brilliant, bright, light blue, clear blue. You can see all the way to the sandy bottom. Allow yourself to continue floating on this gentle ocean that is totally safe. If you bent one knee and brought the knee out to the side in that half frog pose, you can extend the leg behind you again. Pause for a moment. And when you're ready, then bend the other knee, bring the thigh and the shin perpendicular to each other. You can again turn your head the same direction as the knee if that feels good for you, or keep the head to center. Again, if one shoulder is not comfortable, maybe explore bringing that arm out to the side alongside the body. And come back to floating on the gentle waves of the breath. Softening the buttocks. Let your belly melt even more. Where can you let go? Trust that the blanket stack, the earth, can hold you completely. Or if you like the visual of floating in that calm Caribbean sea, trust that the sea can hold you completely. Your skin on your back, floating like a raft on the waves of the breath. Release even more. You can always relax more. Relax between the shoulder blades. Relax the front of the chest. Relax between the hips. Relax the belly. And if you bent one knee in that half frog pose, you can bring that knee, that leg long again. And prepare to come onto hands and knees. You might bring the hands alongside the chest. Take a moment to gather the belly in, come up into table position, very, very, very slowly. Maybe draw the hips back towards the heels. Maybe take child's pose again. If you made a pillow with the arms, you can maybe keep the arms overhead or bring the arms alongside the legs. The skin on your back still floating on the waves of the breath. And we're going to return to the back. So bringing the hands alongside the knees, press into the hands, come up to kneeling. And feel free to stretch or move in any way that feels good for you. And we're gonna keep the blanket stacked just the way it is. Now, unless that wasn't comfortable for you to lie on your back like that, if you didn't enjoy that, then feel free to remove the blanket stack and just lie flat on the floor or on your mat and bring your legs up a chair or a couch. So I'm going to give you several options for our final pose, for our final deep release pose. So the first option is, like I said, to come to a couch. I'm just getting these papers so I have them handy. Come close to a couch and bring your legs up the couch. Scoot your bottom next to the couch and let your legs come up. If you want to use the chair, then just take a chair, hopefully a chair that you can easily move, and bring it to the bottom of your blanket stack. And you're gonna sit on your blanket stack again. You might, if you have any extra blankets still, you can keep one handy to cover yourself up with as your body cools, as it settles. So sitting, again, we're gonna come into the same shape, sort of, that we started the practice with. So lie down, whoops, I need to adjust. So just find where your shoulders, the tops of your shoulders are still supported by that top blanket, the blanket that's folded. Again, if that wasn't comfortable for you, please switch it, do something different. Don't endure. If you can again take constructive rest pose with the knees. If you really love the first pose, just come back into it. It might be perfect. If you want to come into legs up the chair while you're in this yummy pose, you can allow that. I'm again just kind of bringing my fingers to the back, the neck, and then just kind of pulling the cranium away from the shoulders to make space in that space between the cranium, the skull, and the neck. Again, you can use that flexible pillow under your neck to support it if you like. This is also where you can bring your eye pillow in and put your eye pillow over your eyes. And you can also cover up with a blanket. So just get comfortable wherever you want to be. I'm just gonna keep the blanket folded up. Now I'm gonna cover myself up and do the whole thing. So just take a couple of minutes to get comfortable. I wish I was there to help you. It's much easier when I'm there to help you rather than to verbally guide you, but this is where we are right now, right? So it's all good. So let yourself settle. Maybe take several letting go breaths again. If you have something to cover your eyes with, you might do that. So again, take a few moments to get as comfortable as you possibly can. This is our final pose, and you're not going to need to move anymore. Again, notice your breath. Can you let your whole spine rest on the earth? Let your head, your shoulders, your arms rest on the earth. Release even more. Release even more. So if you're in legs up the chair or legs up the couch, that also is a deep release of the psoas muscle. And if you're choosing to, as we started the practice, be in constructive rest pose with the knees resting against each other, that's also a deep release of the psoas muscle. Again, the psoas muscle is the first muscle that comes into play, the first muscle that tightens when you're under stress. Since we're living in a time of chronic stress, either one of these practices, legs up the chair or constructive rest pose, is a deep undoing of that chronic stress. And where you may be feeling it a lot right now, or just a little, is in the abdomen. Since we're also in a little bit of a chest opener, you might be feeling some sensations in the front of the chest. Whatever you're noticing, keep urging your body to let go. If you become aware of a strong sensation in your belly, your chest, your shoulders, someplace else, send it a silent message. Relax, baby. Let it go, sweetheart. Darling, you can relax now. Sweetheart, you can relax now. As you're continuing to give in to gravity, as you're continuing to release totally, I'm going to read you a poem by Data Folds. This is what I have to say to you. You know all that you need to know. You already are all that you need to be. It remains only for you to recognize and acknowledge who you are, what you know, and the powerful presence that is awake within you. You think of yourself as fragile, but you are in fact strong. You sometimes feel alone, but you are in truth connected through spirit to all being. You are connected through spirit to all being. Believe in this connection. Believe in yourself. That is all you need to do. For all is well. Relax even more. Soften belly, chest, face, hands, fingers. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be. And trust that you are supported always. You are safe. You are supported. You are protected. You are connected. You are loved. You are love itself. You are enough. Please stay here as long as you like in this really nourishing, healing shape. I'm going to leave you now to continue your journey. Thank you for sharing your practice of restorative yoga with me.